guys, Pitbikesonic here for a video we haven't done in a little while, doing a Q&A video, answering some of your questions about pit biking, about what I've done in the racing world, and just maybe a few silly questions as well. I think the last time we did one of these videos was first lockdown, and they always seem to go down quite well, so I thought I'd do another one just before Christmas. And just to make it a little bit more entertaining, I'm going to choose at the end of the video who the question I think's best will win this DRC camo hat. So guys, let's get on with it. Let's get into the questions. Approaching a winter series race. Probably not the best person to ask this, as I only did my first winter series race a couple of weekends back at Ella. That was the first time I'd done one in a really long time. So I didn't even know what to expect myself. I went there kind of, it was a bit of a laugh really, see how we got on. Because I haven't been in the B&B paddock for a really long while. Obviously they're not all the top riders there at a winter series round. But the way I'd approach it is, obviously it's freezing cold a winter round. You've got to really look at the track conditions like when you get there. I made the mistakes. I just thought, well, my Blackfriars were pretty toasted really before that day. I'd used them all season in like damp conditions, and they do wear quickly. So really I should have had wets on. The track was damp, but if it was a bit warmer, I think the Blackfriars would have been alright. But I ran tyre warmers, but I don't think you really need to. The only reason I was running tyre warmers because, like I said, the Blackfriars were at the end of their life, and I just wanted to get some softness into them. So yeah, you've got to look at it. Like I said, R's are always, you're going to want R's and wets. They're going to be the best tyre choice for the winter series round. And just put yourself in easy. The track's cold, like your tyre temperatures, you're not going to get any heat on them, so just go into a winter series race nice and slow, build yourself into it, and don't rush, because if you rush you're going to have crashes, and that's going to ruin your day if you have them at the beginning of the day. So yeah, just work yourself in nice and easy. PMT Sissy tie as well. There's a good story behind this. This from my good friend James Blackburn, aka MT10 Jim. Yeah, a couple of years back, James was, I think he was riding on some tyres that were probably about a season and a half old, some PMT-S's, and I turned up at a race meeting with some PMT-SS's, i.e. Super Softs. And it was the first time the Super Softs had really come out, and James was going on about, oh, I've made these tyres last a season and a half now, and to be fair, he was still beating me on really old tyres, so I thought, bugger it, we'll get some S's, have a bit of, like, you know, try and get a bit of an advantage on him. And yeah, he didn't like that too much, so yeah, he put Sissy on my tyres, as I'll put a picture up here, so yeah, there you go. And he probably still beat me that weekend anyway, so yeah. PMT Sissy's, great tyres. Has racing changed my life? I don't think so, because I can't ever remember my life without racing. Even before I started racing myself, when I was really little, my dad used to take me to, well, superbike meetings, British superbike meetings, watching the like of Carl Fogarty, Jamie Whittam, Scott Russell, Neil Hodgson, Chris Walker, Troy Corser, watching all those people. I can't really remember my life without racing. And then obviously I started mini moto racing as a kid, went and did super teams, mini twins, and now racing pit bikes. I can't really remember it with like my life without racing, so I don't think it's changed me. Has it opened any doors for me? In the last couple of seasons, yeah, 100%. Especially doing this media stuff, I'm lucky enough to work on motorsport radio. Well, I say work, I don't earn any money out of it, I do it because I enjoy it, and I get to do the media stuff for the Fab Championship. So yeah, it's definitely opened doors, but more in the media way. The racing I do, the pit biking, is purely a hobby, and I'm lucky enough I have some people help me out doing that, and I try and help them out back with like helping them with their businesses and things like that. So yeah, racing's a way of life for me, even though it is just pit bike racing. But all the stuff, the other stuff I do, the media work, yeah, without racing, God knows where I'd be now. That is an excellent question from Mini Twin Moulton. Me and his real name is Jordan Moulton. We used to race in Super Teens together. He's now looking to get back into racing, back in the Mini Twin class. Go check out his Instagram page. He's put a lovely bike together, and I hope to see him on the track next season. But yeah, that is a really good question. In lots of ways, it doesn't. I mean, arriving at tracks like Brands Hatch, Cadwell, Alton Park, Donington, I'm never going to get that feeling of what I do going to those tracks as what I do turning up to like Landau and Ella and Red Lodge. You're never going to get that buzz of going around Cadwell, going over the mountain, going through Hall Bends, or going down Paddock Hill Bend with 40 other riders. You're never going to get that feeling in pit bikes. But the feeling I still do get from racing pit bikes, from what I was when I was racing big bikes, is that competitiveness. Even though we're only racing pit bikes, when I'm lined up on the grid, I still get that competitive feeling that I want to go win or do really well. So pit bikes, it ticks those boxes when it comes to big bike racing. But I said, being in a big bike paddock, and obviously the speed as well, you're not getting that on a pit bike. So in many ways, yeah, I do miss the buzz of a big bike, but the pit biking, it has so many pluses. Obviously the cost is a lot less, and that's a massive thing, because I can't afford to go back to big bike racing now, however much I could. If someone said to me now, right, here's 25 grand, you can go racing the Ducati Tri-Options at BSB, I would be over there in a shot, but that's not going to happen. So pit biking still ticks loads of boxes, and it keeps me in that competitive world. So that's what I enjoy about pit biking, that I still can do that for a fraction of the price of what big bikes is. But yeah, in ways, no, it doesn't. You don't fulfill what you can on a big bike, but pit bikes, for what it is absolutely a brilliant sport. Great question, Chris. There's only one track that I think that I have never, a pit bike track I have never ridden around, and that is Three Sisters. And I do really want to ride there. It is in my calendar to do it this year with BMB, and as long as there's no problems, I would like to do it. From what I've seen of Three Sisters, it's an extremely fast track, a lot of slipstreaming, so I'm really excited to go there, because I think it'll be a track that suit my style. Obviously I'm a very light rider, I only weigh just under 9 stone, so from what I've seen, I think I'll do really well there. So I look forward to going to Three Sisters this year, and that's kind of, I think, pretty much every track that we currently race at ticked off then. Also we're going to Pembury, BMB are going to Pembury, I hope to go, but I don't even know what the track layout's like for Pembury. I have been to Pembury before, but that was racing big bikes, so it'd be interesting to see what we do with the pit bikes. But yeah, Three Sisters, I really look forward to going there this season and seeing how well we can do. Cheers for the question, Joe. Another one going back to my bigger bike days. Why did I finish club racing to do pit bikes? I think it's going to be the same reason that 80%, maybe even 100% of people stop racing, is the funding. The lack of money. When I was doing club racing, I was in college at the time. It was a long time ago. It was like when I was 18, 19. I was in college, so I was obviously going to college, doing my mechanicals course at the time, and then in the evenings I'd have to work in McDonald's to earn a bit of money to go racing, because I was on an apprenticeship wage then, and that was really bad pay. So I was working flat out just to go racing at the weekends, and it was really hard work. Obviously when you're 18 and things like that, there's other things that you're interested in, not just racing. So yeah, if, like I said back in the other question, if I could go back to big bikes, I would. I really would. money wise, the closest thing that I'll be looking at if I could go back racing would be the Ninja 400s at PMT. That looks like a really fun class. Obviously they're not the fastest things in the world, but if I could go back to big bikes, that's probably financially that's probably the closest thing I can do. But you're still talking about, if you want to do Friday practice just for the entry fees, you're talking around £300 for a race meeting, maybe more. I don't know, these days it might even be more than that. So big road racing at the moment is a long way off. Yeah, so can't see it happening anytime soon. I'm very lucky at the moment that with my pit biking I've got lots of people helping me, and I'm not actually paying for a lot at the moment. So, and I really enjoy the pit bike racing. So yeah, I'm going to stay doing this at the moment. I'm like I said, enjoying really doing all this social media work. So yeah, and the reason I left is purely financial, but I love the racing that I'm doing at the moment, so I'll be sticking at pit biking for a little while longer. Am I starting a team or doing any scouting? At the moment, no. Plans have changed quite a bit. I think at the end of this season I was planning to have a hire bike for the Fab Championship for this season, but plans have totally changed, and you will see what those plans are in my next video, so make sure to check out that one. But no plans to have a team or any scouting. It would be like something I do in the future. I really like, obviously, being in the Fab Championship, that a lot of that championship is based on youngsters and them coming through, and obviously the B&B Championship with the Ovale Cup and that, it's a real good time for youngsters in England at the moment because they get so much choice now of where they want to go before they step onto a big bike. So I think at the moment in England it is really good for the youngsters. We've got a bit of a patch now where like we're not going to have any MotoGP riders, it looks like, this year. Obviously we're hoping Jake Dixon does really well and Sam Lowes do really well in the Moto2 this year, so that will push them through. But yeah, I've got no plans to do any sort of scouting or anything. I wouldn't want to do scouting for youngsters really, because at the end of the day I race pit bikes, don't I? It's not like I'm a mega star looking out, am I? I've got good experience in pit bikes, but I don't think I'm the sort of person who can give advice to youngsters, because I didn't even race in British Superbike, or didn't even race at British level, shall I say, so I don't expect youngsters to take any advice off me, because I wouldn't want them racing pit bikes at 30 years old. Would I ever race at the TT Dom? No, not at all. I've been lucky enough to go watch a couple of times. I've ridden around the track on my road bike, and what those guys do is absolutely unbelievable. I have a total respect for it. I love the island, I love the whole event that goes on, it is amazing. But no, I haven't got any ambitions to go race at the Isle of Man. And even if I did, I'm really not good enough. Is the reason why. Obviously I stopped doing the big bikes for the financial reason, but I wasn't the greatest rider in the world. I was a mid-pack rider at club level, so yeah, I would never go ride the TT, because I'd be a danger to myself and probably other people as well. But yeah, I would love to go watch it again. I'm sure I probably will at some point. But no, TT is not for me. I'm not good enough, and I'll never do it anyway. Do you have to have a thumb brake to be competitive in pit bikes? No, not at all. I had a thumb brake on my bike this year, and guess how many times I used it? None. I am going to make it though. If the Spain trip goes ahead and hopefully things improve a little bit, I am really going to try and practice on using it in Spain, because I know a lot of the really quick boys at B&B, they use their thumb brake. I've never used my rear brake when it's been on my foot or by my thumb, but I know it's something that you should try and use. I know obviously you want to use it around fast corners. Just if you're running wide a little bit, it helps you bring the bike back online and things like that. So it's something in Spain this year I'm really going to try and practice using. So no, I don't think you need it to be competitive, but I think if you can learn to use it, I think it can be a great help. I think I got asked this in one of my last Q&As, but I love talking about it. So my most memorable race was at Tattershall 2 years ago now, in the Fab Series. I was up against, I think it was a 6-way battle or a 5-way battle for the lead with me, Brad, Charlie, Harvey and Will Howell, who was in the moto team class, at Tattershall. It was just a perfect race. Everything just went spot on. The whole weekend was perfect. Pole position and won all 3 races, but the second race especially was the best. Obviously Brad, Charlie, Harvey, they all go there. It's like their bit of fun for them. Obviously they're British Superbike riders, or Brad's British Superbike rider, Harvey's British Talent Cup, and Charlie races in GP2s. So obviously they're big names in British Superbikes, and we got the lead first lap. And if any of you know, Tattershall is extremely narrow track, and I think Charlie got past me once, but I managed to get him straight back, and I held him off the whole race. And it was just one of those races where all the planets aligned properly, the bike ran spot on. It was just a perfect race, and I'll never forget that day. To beat Charlie and Brad and Harvey when they were all trying. I hope they say they were trying, and to come out on top was really good. Yeah, I couldn't beat that, and I'll remember that race for the rest of my life. It was a real good one. And just when I came in the pits and I looked at my phone, obviously all the races are live streamed on Motorsport Media at Fab, and the amount of messages I had on my phone, oh my god, Jamie, that was a brilliant race. And I even got one off my dad, who's probably my harshest critic, or he was when I used to race big bikes. He's not so much now. And even he said, mate, that was unbelievable. So yeah, it was a really good race, and yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. You can go check it out. I'll put a link up the top here, and you can go check it out because that is on my YouTube channel. Cheers guys for all your questions. Sorry if I didn't read everyone's out. Once again, I got loads sent to me through Instagram and Facebook, but I just chose the 10 best ones, or the 10 most interesting ones I could give answers for, shall I say. So I really appreciate everyone who did. I'll do some more of these throughout the year because they seem to be quite popular. Right, so the best question, I'm gonna say, went to Jack. So congratulations, mate. If you contact me through any of my Instagram, Facebook, give me your address and I'll get this DRC camo hat out sent to you. Cheers guys for watching the video. I've got one more video before Christmas, and it is a big one. It's something I really didn't expect to happen. I look forward to telling you guys and seeing myself as well, because it's a big one. Yeah, it's going to be really good. If you haven't already subscribed, lads, I really appreciate it if you did. Once again, we're going to try and get to 500 before the end of the year, so hit that button there please. And if you want to see some more videos, click that button down there. Cheers guys, and I'll see you for another video. Bye. Sonic, he's got an attitude.